Hello, everyone. Welcome to Subconscious Medicine. I'm your host, Ella, and I'm so happy you decided to listen in today. If you don't know me, I have been wanting to start a podcast for a really, really long time, and I sort of announced this on my Instagram probably 2 months ago now, maybe 3. Um, and life just kind of got in the way. Been really busy and didn't really feel like I had the time to embark on this journey. And then on top of that, also just a lot of anxiety about starting something new and not knowing how to do it or what supplies I would need or how, if I was even capable. Um, so yeah, it's been a long time coming, but I'm really, really excited, and I hope that we can sort of create a little safe corner of the internet that's fun and creative and insightful and welcoming. Um, so please feel free to check out the Instagram if you please, and come back for what I hope are weekly episodes. Hold me to that. We're working on it, but yeah, I hope that we can upload weekly with a new episode because I know that I'm an avid podcast listener, and when the uploads aren't regular, I sort of divulge. Um, but yeah, so again, thank you for listening. I don't know what today's episode is going to be, honestly, but I want it to be comfy and relaxed. Clearly, I'm laying in bed. Honestly, this is how I listen to my podcasts. So this is how I want my podcast to be. I listen to a bunch of different podcasts, but all of them are super laid back and chill and just calming and not high tech or anything. And that's how I want mine to be too. I want it to be a safe space where people can just come and listen and just relax and be themselves. And I don't want it to be high stress because this is a creative, fun passion project for me. So if I create a stressful environment for myself, I know I won't sustain this. So yeah. But yeah, let me tell you a little about myself. So I'm 20 years old. I live in Tampa, Florida. I'm originally from Connecticut, but I go to school in Tampa. So I live down here now. I love the city. I love my school. I'm a psychology major. I'm a rising senior, which is absolutely crazy to think about. Hate saying that out loud. Anyone who's close to me knows better than to ask me any questions about post-grad life because I simply do not know, and it's a major stressor. But yeah, this summer I'm working an internship. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's at a local nonprofit related to kids in the system of care. So that's right up my alley. So I'm loving the work that I'm doing there. And then I'm also taking 2 summer classes because apparently I just hate myself. So yeah, taking those 2 summer classes. We have 2 weeks left. I cannot wait for them to be over. We're in the home stretch. I'm really just looking forward to that, to be honest. But yes, so that's what my day-to-day looks like right now. Pretty busy, but I honestly thrive off of being busy. I'm the type of person who if I have time on my hands that's not delegated to a specific task, I just spiral and I literally make myself go crazy. So having a pretty rigid schedule, I've learned, is just kind of what works best for me. So I try to keep that consistent, even during the summer months when I don't really have a schedule with school. I mean, I guess I do this summer because of my summer classes, but I just try to maintain a pretty consistent schedule because I know that's kind of what works best for me. Um, but yeah, so that's a little bit about me. What else about me? I I don't know. I'm a minimalist. It's kind of my favorite and least favorite thing about myself. I pretty much exclusively wear the colors black, white, and some variation of the color brown. I don't really know why that started. Honestly, I we're getting like deep real quick, but I think that I just feel most confident in the color black. I don't know why. I know people say that like black slims you. I don't know if this is like deep rooted insecurities, but I just feel better in the color black. So I always wore black. And then I feel like now that I live in Tampa, I wear a lot more white because I'm tanner and like white just accentuates the tan. So yeah, I wear a lot of black and white. And then I'm just a neutral girly because you could have a ton of neutrals and make so many different outfits because they all just go together. Versus like if you are a color girly, we love our color girlies, but like how do you need so many more clothes because they don't all go together, you know? Shout out Maddie, my friend Maddie, if you're listening, who quite literally has not only the most extensive closet I've ever seen, but also by far the most colorful closet I've ever seen. And somehow she looks good in every color. And I kind of hate her for it, but besides the point. Yeah, color's just not my thing. I try, I dibble dabble a little bit. If I do, it's usually like blue. I feel like, or red, not because I love the color red, but because my school's color is red. It's like I have merch from school that's red. I like blue because I have blue eyes, and people say that it like makes my eyes look bluer. I don't know. I just whatever. But yeah, I don't know. So basically, I wear black and white. That's the moral of the story. Yeah. What else about me? Hmm. Oh. Wow, we're getting really deep. Maybe today's whole episode is going to be about fashion. But okay, hot take. This is going to tickle some feathers, I feel like. But I okay, so for context, I'm a retired athlete, is that what people say? I played softball all my life. I also played basketball for a pretty long time, but played softball all my life. Wanted to play in college, was gonna play in college, then had an injury and couldn't play in college. But long story short, like huge part of my life, right? And I played on a really competitive travel team, loved it, had so many close friends. It was a great experience, honestly. I loved everything about it. But left sports after my senior year of high school. I tied the knot. That was it. And but I tried to maintain a pretty active lifestyle, right? So I work out pretty consistently. I've picked up running recently. I've stayed active just because I enjoy it. I think that that's a pretty hard transition for a lot of athletes to make, is like that no longer having a rigid like workout and practice schedule, but still wanting to maintain a certain level of fitness. And honestly, that's not spoken about a lot, but yeah, so I feel like I've made that transition as smoothly as I possibly could. But all this to say, I have never been a skinny girl. Like that's just not my body shape, my body type. That's just not who I am, right? And but how would I describe my body type? I don't know. Like I have really strong legs, so they're definitely big. I have broad shoulder. I feel like you can even tell here probably, but like yeah, I have broad shoulders. Um I don't know. Like I feel like I'm like a mid-sized body, if that's the right term. I don't know. But all this to say, clothes are made for skinny people. And anyone who wants to fight me on that, like I will ride to my fucking grave with that statement, okay? Because listen, the people that want to fight that the most are skinny people, first of all, okay? Actually, let me retract. I'm talking about female clothing. I'm not going to speak on men's clothing. Not that clothing should have a gender, but like I don't know enough about I don't know enough about men's clothing to say that that's the case. The only experience I've had purchasing men's clothing is like for my boyfriend, and I feel like he's like a pretty standard size, so like that's not fair. So, anyways, we're gonna talk about women's clothing specifically. Clothes are made for skinny people. okay? The way they're cut, the the just like everything about them, they're made for skinny people. And listen, there's nothing wrong with our skinny girlies, but clothes are made for skinny people, okay? And this is why I have a problem with specific brands and companies like using skinny models. It's not, to me, it's not misrepresentation. It's not, the problem is not that, okay, like bigger girls don't see bigger girls' bodies represented. To me, that's not the problem. Okay, yes, like that is a like side effect, but the root issue there is that when clothing companies pick people to model their clothing, they're obviously going to pick people who look good in their clothes. Like, why would you want your clothes to look good, right? Like, in those instances, models are not the they're not the product. Like, they're not what you're selling, right? You're selling the clothes. So the clothes are like the accessory, and the model is just there to show them off, right? So obviously they're going to pick people who look good in their clothes, as they should. Like, that's the whole point. That's marketing. That's how they're going to like be successful as a business, right? I completely understand that, and I don't have a problem with that. My problem though is that if the only girls that look good in your clothes are skinny girls, what does that say about your brand? Right? So like if you're, wow, I'm like gonna dox companies right away. Okay, well, the one that like everyone uses is like Victoria's Secret, which honestly I feel like is a little different, only because they're not clothing, it's lingerie. Like, that's different to me. But okay, PacSun comes to mind. Not a PacSun shopper. Don't think I own a single thing from PacSun. I've been in the store before, but I've never bought anything. Although I know they sell other brands, right? Like, they don't they sell like Princess Polly now or something? And I'm pretty sure they sell Brandy Melville still, right? But okay, regardless, like PacSun in general as a store, right? Not going to speak on Princess Polly or Brandy Melville. Never have shopped at Brandy Melville. Never will, because why are we still supporting them as a company? And then Princess Polly, I think I have bought a few things from the past, but like not a store that I shop at regularly, right? Or a site, I guess. Um, but okay, PacSun, right? Their clothes, if you scroll through their website, every single girl on that website looks exactly the same. And their clothes are built for that body type. So if you're a PacSun and you're uploading photos from a photo shoot onto your website and you notice that every girl looks the same, at what point are you like, hey, maybe we should expand our breadth of people that we market to? Like, our breadth of body types that we can sell to, because that's only going to benefit you in the end, right? Clothes are made for skinny people. And I I just hate when there's nothing more like degrading than when someone who is a skinny person makes like just ignorant comments about how clothes fit them, as if struggling to fit into clothes properly is not like every mid-sized or plus-sized girl's like hardest task. Like, that's so insensitive to me, right? Like, it's not like you can't be mad that something doesn't fit you, but at least recognize that that's like some people's everyday. Every day. Oh my god, wait. Let's just make this hot takes. That's going to be today's episode. Not me deciding literally 15 minutes in. Okay, hot takes episode. First hot take was clothes are made for skinny people. What's my other hot take? Okay. Hot take number 2. Ranch disgusting. Ranch dressing is absolutely positively disgusting. Actually, matter of fact, all creamy dressings are gross. I said it. Okay? Why do I want to dress a salad in something that's cream? Like, what? That just makes no sense to me. Creamy salad dressings are disgusting. I'm here for the balsamic vinaigrette. That's like my go to. An Italian is okay. They're usually like really salty. That's my only beef with an Italian, but like they're okay. Even there's this one brand I can't think of what it is, but they make light Caesar. That's like literally what they call it, but it's like oil based, so it's not creamy at all, but it still tastes like Caesar dressing. That's even good. But creamy salad dressings, nasty. Nothing about that is good. Nothing about it. Also, mayo. Actually, no. This is the real hot take. The real hot take is that that's white, anything that's white and creamy, gross. Mayo, disgusting. Salad dressing, ranch, Caesar, all of the creamy salad dressings, gross. What else is white? Frosting, like that you put on cake, disgusting. Oh my god, don't even get me started on that. That's so gross. What else is white and creamy? I feel like there's another one that I talk about all the time. Also, so sorry if you can hear the sirens. Oh my god, fun fact. Okay, so today I went to Target and then I was gonna go to Walmart because like there are some things that I couldn't get at Target and Walmart was closed. And this was at like 2 p.m. and I was like, what the heck? And it was covered, entire building wrapped in caution tape. And I was like, what is happening? And then the whole SWAT team was there. More Tampa Police Department officers I've ever seen in my entire life. It was terrifying. Turns out this guy like walked in and stabbed a bunch of people. I don't know. Crazy. Mm. Actually, not that. Well, I mean, like it should be crazy, but like for Florida, not that crazy. But yeah. So long story short is I had to go to a different Walmart. It was kind of an inconvenience, but very much first world problems. Okay, yeah. Anyways, the hot take is that white creamy things are gross. Okay. Third hot take. Oh my god. So passionate about this. Sleep over your comforter. Okay, I know this is hypocritical because I'm currently laying under my comforter. Laying under your comforter is fine. Sleeping under your comforter, that's diabolical. Okay? We sleep on top of our comforters. That's the right way to do it. Okay? First of all, then you don't have to make your bed in the morning, which who wants to make their bed in the morning? Not me, but I also can't leave my house until my bed is made, which means making it as easy as possible is necessary. And you know what's the easiest possible way to not have to make your bed in the morning? Is you never get in it. Words of wisdom. Sleep on top of your comforter. If you're cold, that's what you have a throw blanket for. Or, I don't know, wear a sweatshirt to bed. Like, figure it out, girl. But why are we sleeping under our comforters? It's so claustrophobic. What if someone like tried to murder you? Hmm? What, you're gonna have to climb out of your comforter? No. Don't even get me started on the top sheet. That is crazy. That is crazy. Like I'm here for sheets. We have the fitted sheet, we have the mattress protector or cover, whatever it's called. Top sheets, the most unnecessary thing I've ever seen in my life. It's paper thin. It's not keeping you warm. What's the point? Please, someone tell me. Someone tell me. Okay. Wow, people are gonna hate me after this episode. Um, what are other hot takes? Oh, Apple Watch tan lines. Kind of cute. Kind of cute. It's like a memoir to your summer experiences. Like, oh my god, I had this fun outing at the beach yesterday. Let me show you. And you just like you show someone your tan line, because you're not going to be like at work. You're not going to be like, oh, let me show you my like. No, that's weird. But you could be like, mm, you know, yeah. Apple Watch tan lines are cute. Actually, all tan lines are cute. I kind of think they're hot. Oh my. Wait. Okay, I never tell anybody this, but hottest body part. Okay, hottest body part. I do think it's a little bit different. Okay, we'll do male and female. There's overlap though. Okay, hottest body part on a man. I have two answers. One, top one, by far, neck. So attractive. If there's an Adam's apple, even better. But there doesn't need to be. There doesn't need to be. But men's, oh, I feel like that's like the first thing I notice about a man is their neck. It's just like, I don't know, something about it. It's so attractive. Also, it's like spicy, you know? Okay, yeah. Men, neck, 1000%. But number two, and a pretty close second, back. Oh, a muscular back, a soft back, like if their skin is soft, nothing is more attractive. Those are by far my two favorite body parts in a man. But on females, number one, although female necks are also pretty attractive, especially if they're like really long, you know? Okay, but anyways, best body part in a female, clavicle. Someone tell me that I'm wrong. Okay, best example, look up any picture, any photo, I can promise you, as long as you can see them in the photo. Any picture of Miss Zendaya, okay? Any photo. And just zoom in on the clavicle. She has the best clavicles I've ever seen, by far. And they are so gorgeous. Like they're perfect. One time I saw a picture of her. If you know, you know. I have no idea what the event was. It was like Met Gala, like some like awards ceremony or like charity thing. But anyways, she wore a dress, like a long dress. It was like mesh or like see-through, and it had black like piping. People doxed her because they said it looked like a spider web, but Miss Girl looked amazing. That dress, if you can find her, it's like a sheer dress, has thin spaghetti straps, and it kind of looks like a spider web in the best way possible. That dress, her clavicles look incredible. I mean, they always do, but like they look especially good in that dress. But the second, who Zendaya is also another great example of, because let's be honest, she's just like actually the most gorgeous woman to ever touch this planet. But back, a back on a female too is just, oh, it's so good. It's so good, especially tall girls. I don't know what it is, but if you have, it doesn't even have to be like muscular. I don't think. I think all backs are not. This is so stupid. But I don't know. I just think they're so attractive. But I would take a better clavicle. I gotta be honest. Okay, so for men, backs, but necks. Okay, so men necks. Jesus Christ, can I talk? And then girls, we're gonna say clavicles. Yeah, I feel confident in that answer actually. How did we even get to talk about that? I don't even know. Okay, anyways, what are other hot takes? I know. I would take a fun little drink over food any day. Well, I mean, like, you need to eat. Please feel your body. But, like, I, just because I'm staring at my little Celsius, but I love a fun little drink. I just bought the shout out One Up Nutrition and Sydney Adams. Literally love that girl with all my heart. She introduced me to One Up Nutrition. Um, but they like make protein powders and greens and stuff like that. But they came out with a new whey protein isolate, so it's like clear protein. So you just mix it with water, and the lemon ice flavor as their flavor of the month. Amazing. I just bought it. I tried it for the first time this morning after my run. Incredible. Also, I like, if I just finished working out, the last thing I want to do is drink like a heavy milky shake. You know? That's just like not my vibe. But being able to mix it with water is so much better because then it's light, especially the lemon flavor. It's like summery. It tastes like Libby's Italian Ice. If you're from Connecticut or have ever been to New Haven, Pepe's Pizza is in New Haven. Directly across the street is Libby's Ice. I mean, Libby's, and they sell the best Italian ice. Fun little story. So, my great grandpa, he was a real estate agent, and he had like his own business. And when I was growing up, every single Friday, he would take everyone that worked for his company out to lunch at Pepe's. So they would, like, his company was in Waterbury, but they would drive to New Haven because at the time that was the only Pepe's location. And he would pay for like everyone to get lunch, but the whole family would go too. So it was like me, my cousins, my sisters, my grandparents, everyone, right? And so yeah, so we would go get pizza, but the kids would eat like relatively quickly, and then the parents would go around, and the employees, and they'd chat and whatever, and we just got like so antsy that we would be like disruptive. So to get us out of the restaurant, my grandpa would slide us a $50 bill, like he'd give it to like one of the grandchildren under the table, and we would sprint outside directly across the street. We would go to Libby's and we'd get our little cups of Italian ice, and we'd sit on this bench on the sidewalk outside Libby's and just wait for them to come out with their pizza boxes until they were done, and we would just sit there and just eat it. And oh my god, I have like such fond memories of that. But long story short, the protein powder, because it's lemon ice flavor, makes me think of that. So it's so nostalgic. But yeah, I tried that today and it was so good. But anyways, a fun little drink, so exciting. I actually prefer. I'm like a caffeine addict. It's so bad. I need to stop drinking so much caffeine, specifically Celsius. I do love myself in a Alani Nu, but they're so expensive. But I get the Celsius packets on Amazon or like Walmart or Target, anywhere. And I kind of prefer it to the actual Celsius because the Celsius is carbonated, and I feel like I can't drink it quickly, you know? So like if I wake up in the morning, I need my Celsius. Like I don't drink coffee, so I like my little exciting thing to drink in the morning is my Celsius. Even if I'm not tired, like I just drink it cuz I like it. But I like if I'm in a rush, like if I'm going to work or I'm running to class and I like need to get out the door, I can't chug a Celsius. And I'm not going to be that annoying person that opens their Celsius can in class. Oh my god, I hate when people do that. And I've done it a few times. I have. But it was a painful experience. I hate being that person. But anyways, I kind of prefer the powder. That in and of itself was kind of a hot take actually. I kind of prefer the powder. And it's just like fun to like mix it up, and I don't know, it's exciting. I like it. Um okay, what are my other hot takes? Oh, the smell of coffee is rancid. Okay? Listen, I know there's people out there that don't like coffee. So I know I'm not the only one on that. But I hate the smell of coffee and people love it. And I cannot stand it. I think it's so overpowering, and it's like instant headache. To me, it's like walking into Bath and Body Works. If you're at all like sensitive to smell, you know that when you walk into Bath and Body Works, instant headache. Or Hollister. Oh my god, speaking of skinny legend stores, Hollister. Remember back in like the day when we were in like when I was in middle school, at least. So like 20, oh my god, what was that? Like 16, 2017. And Hollister had that perfume. I don't even remember what it was called, or cologne, whatever, that they would spray on the mannequins inside, like on the outside of the store to get people to come in. Oh my god, I can't. That was the worst experience of my life, smelling that. I couldn't even. Well, I never went into Hollister because, again, their clothes were made for like actual babies, but besides the point, I didn't even want to go in because I was like, if this is how strong it smells outside the store, I can't even imagine what it smells like inside the store. Um, how did we get talking about that? Oh, the smell of coffee. Yeah. Hate the smell of coffee. Hate it. That's a hot take. Um, okay, what else? Hmm. I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty opinionated person, but I don't like share my opinions very often, you know? So, I don't really think about them like actively. This is such a random thought, very much intrusive thought, but Also, I was just thinking about why do we carry mace on us? Like girls, why? Or like pepper spray? I understand the point is like if someone comes up to you, but think about how close someone has to be to for that to be effective. Like in order for you to be able to spray someone in the eye close enough that it would actually hurt them, they would have to be all up in your face. Sweetheart, they've already like decapitated you. Okay? Like you're already hurt. You you were better off trying to fight them with your fists. Like I don't know, maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't get it. I don't like to me the taser makes so much more sense. I don't have a taser. I would never get one simply because I would be afraid that I'd shoot myself with it. But the pepper spray and the mace, and I have mace, but I don't get it. Also, I have turned the little thing on the top of the maze so many times and almost accidentally sprayed myself or like sprayed it inside my backpack or whatever. So many times. I can't even begin to tell you. It's honestly sheer luck that it's never sprayed anywhere before because I don't really know how that's even possible. But yeah. So I don't really understand why we do that. But yeah. What are some fun little stories I could tell? Oh my god, one time when I was little, one time when I was little, I was getting off the bus and our house, we still live in the same house. My parents built the house, like my childhood home. So, I've lived in it since the day I was born and my parents still live there. So, that's like home to me, right? And one time, okay, and I have two older sisters, but I one time I was coming home from school, and the house is at the end of the cul-de-sac. We're like the very last house. So the bus would drive. We're at the top of the hill. The bus would drive up the hill, and they would pull into my driveway, and I would get off, and then they would leave. Right? Like there was no bus stop. They like literally drove me door to door, basically. And so I I was coming home from school one day, and whatever, I got dropped off, and my bus driver's name was Jerry. Oh my god, he was the sweetest little soul. He was so nice. We used to bake him cookies all the time. He was this like big old man with white hair, and he was just the best, and he was so sweet. And oh, he was just like he was definitely like Santa in the mall, you know? Like he was just the sweetest little person. He loved kids. He was so patient with all of us. But anyways, he was the best bus driver. But so he drops me off. I say goodbye, Jerry. I say thank you, whatever. I get off the bus. And I walk, and we have a pretty long driveway. So it like takes a second. But like I walk into the house. But Jerry would never leave until he saw my mom or like my sister or someone. I don't know if he did that for everybody or if it was just me. In my head, it's just for me. He definitely just did that for everyone. But for now, I'm just going to be naive. Anyway, so he like would never leave until he saw someone was at the door. So I like get to the front of the house and I open the front door and my sister opens the front door and so like he sees that she's there so he leaves. So he starts to like beep 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 back up whatever. And I go to walk into the house and my sister like puts her hands out. And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Don't freak out, but mom set something on fire." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Mom was like cooking and it was a yam." Which I don't think I've ever eaten a yam in my life. I don't know why we didn't eat yams regularly growing. Yams like a sweet potato, like same thing. We didn't like eat those growing up. I've had sweet potato, but like we didn't eat yams. So I don't know. Anyways, okay, maybe this is a sign that she shouldn't be cooking them. And my mom is a great cook, but she also just like can't stay focused on a task at any given point. So she probably just forgot about them or something. But she's like, "Don't freak out." But mom like was cooking and something caught on fire in the kitchen. Like the kitchen is on fire. And I let out the most like earth-shattering scream. and I threw my backpack on the ground and I sprinted down the hill chasing after the bus. My arms were like flailing in the air and I was screaming at Jerry to stop. I was like, Jerry, stop, Jerry, stop. And my sister's chasing after me because I'm in the middle of the road. Like, how unsafe could I possibly be? And Jerry stops and I like walk back onto the bus and I'm like, my mom lit my house on fire, like how, and he's like so confused. And Hannah, my sister, is like trying to get me off the bus and she's like, no, it's okay, like the fire's out now, but like the kitchen's like black and blah blah, blah. And so she did end up getting me off the bus, but I will never forget that day. That was truly so terrifying. And I was like, okay, why are you so calm about this? Like, why are you okay? Also, maybe Hannah just has a thing with fire because different story, totally different time. We were driving home from the grocery store with my dad, which is already a weird experience because if you know anything about Jeffrey, you know that he doesn't grocery shop. My dad is the epitome of a man. Like, just, he's just such a dad. Like, the tasks that a dad would do, he does, and the tasks that a dad wouldn't do, he does not do. So, grocery shopping being one of them, my mom always grocery shopped. Dad never went to grocery store. So, I'm not really sure why we were going, but that's besides the point. I'm sitting in the back seat because I'm like a little kid, probably in like a booster seat still. And Hannah's in the front seat, and we're driving home, and we're on the street that we turn off of to get to my street, right? So, like, maybe 30, 45 seconds away from home. And we're driving, and Hannah goes, oh. So I'm like, and my dad goes, what? And she goes, oh, nothing. The house was just on fire. So my dad like slams on the brakes, and he's like, what? And she goes, that house was just, it was on fire. And we were like, what? So my dad turns the car around. He drives down like 2, 3 houses. Sure enough, house fully engulfed in flames. Like, just completely engulfed in flames. Like, maybe 50, 60 foot high flames. And she was so calm about it. It was so scary. I was like, why are we not concerned? And again, I'm a little kid, so now I'm freaking out. And my dad gets out of the car. He runs into the freaking house. He just sprints right in. He runs into the house. He comes out with this like older lady. It was her home, and she's just screaming about her cat. She's like, my cats are in the house. They need to come out. They're not safe. Blah blah blah. And my dad's like, lady, are you serious? And she's like, yes, like, I need my cats. So I guess there were 2 of them. And my dad ran back in like an idiot. He ended up getting one of them actually. The other one was lost. And then she posted like signs all over our neighborhood that the cat was lost. And she probably never got him back. It probably was like in ashes. But anyways, yeah. So I guess I have a lot of fire stories in my life. That also was not the only time that my mom burnt something in our kitchen and like caught the kitchen on fire. My mom's also like such a good cook, which is the funniest part about it because she's an excellent cook. Like, makes the best food. I crave homemade meals all the time. And that says a lot because I cook a lot. But like something about your mom's cooking or like your grandma's cooking, it's just different. I don't know. It feels like comforting and homey. I don't know. Mom's a great cook, even though she did catch our house on fire a few times. We love you, Mom. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we divulged from the hot takes, but I can't think of any more. I feel like it's hard to think of them when you're on the spot. I guess I'm not on the spot. I had like so much time to prepare, but oh, Vaseline or Aquaphor? Hmm. That is the question. All my life, I've been an Aquaphor girly, but my boyfriend is the biggest Vaseline fan I have ever met in my life. Actually, now that I think about it, these two products are definitely the same. Like the product, I know the brands are different, but I'm pretty sure the product is the same. But regardless, I feel like people still take a side. He does not go anywhere without a tub of Vaseline, like the mini ones, and he has the big ones, and he refills the mini ones with the big, yeah. So when I'm with him, I use Vaseline because he just has it on him, so it's just easier. I don't know. I don't really feel very passionate about this, but I feel like everyone in my life really takes a stance and like has a hardcore opinion. People also feel really like polarized about Carmex, which is my mom's favorite. So to me, that's like my childhood in a chapstick. But people I know feel really, really strongly and like split about Carmex. Of like if it's the best ever, if it's like Satan's chapstick. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Also, something else I was just thinking about because they live like right above a Starbucks, so I can see it out my window right now. But everyone just assumes that because I'm from the Northeast that I'm a Dunkin' girl, which I guess because okay, Dunkins are like everywhere in New England. There are not a lot of Dunkins in Florida. They're like pretty. I guess there's more in Tampa because it's like a huge city and it's like mostly Northerners in Tampa, but they're not nearly as popular as they are at home. And yeah, I'm a Starbucks girl. But granted, like I don't drink coffee. So when I go to Starbucks, I'm ordering a matcha or an iced tea. And I order an unsweetened iced tea. So like you can't mess that up. So like I'll get that at Dunkin' too. But matcha, although I think Dunkin' sells matcha now. But when I first got into matcha, which I have to admit was way before it got popular, so just saying. But regardless, um, Dunkin' didn't have matcha when I got into it. So I had to go to Starbucks if I wanted it. I used to make my own, like in high school, all the time. I actually don't really make it anymore. I don't really know why, but I just don't. But my Starbucks order is either a venti black iced tea unsweetened with a splash of lemonade. That's option one. If I want a matcha, then I get the size depends, but um an iced matcha latte with almond milk, and sometimes I'll get sweet cream cold foam. Depends on the day. And they look at me like I'm crazy when I say that because they're like, "Oh, but the sweet cream cold foam is real milk." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And they're like, "But you ordered almond milk." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I didn't order almond milk because I can't drink milk. I ordered almond milk because I like almond milk. And you don't make cold foam with almond milk, which let's talk about that. That's the real problem. Why aren't we making cold foam with almond milk? That would be the easy fix. That would be that would be the best of both worlds. But anyways, so that's my Starbucks order. If I get food, the red pepper egg white bites, really good. That's like my go-to. But I do also love the spinach feta and egg white wrap. Fire. So good. Um yeah. That's honestly really the only things I get. I did get one time the like caprese sandwich. They don't call it that, but it's like the mozzarella tomato pesto one. It was pretty good. But like I don't know if I would get it again. Egg white bites are really my go-to. So good. I heard that if you ask them to do them extra toasty, they'll do it and they get like extra crispy, which sounds delicious. Maybe I should try that. I don't really know why I haven't, but yeah. I say this as if I like go to Starbucks regularly. I definitely don't. I mean, on campus I go there all the time to study, but I don't actually buy anything, which is a real problem, but I don't really go that often. Um, but yeah, I don't really know why. Also though, this is like a whole thing, but I did see something recently about their stance on the whole Israel Palestine thing, and that was a little concerning. So, um, yeah. But besides the point, oh my god. So, something about me is I grew up with an almond mom, which I say lightly, okay? My mom was just, I guess she was more of an ingredient mom. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. But, I'm very appreciative of it now because now I feel like I have pretty healthy eating habits and they come like kind of naturally. Like, I don't have to force myself to like things. So, honestly, we don't hate her for it. But definitely grew up eating some not normal things and also not eating normal things. So, like, I've never had pretty much like all fast food. And people never believe me when I say this, but name like any fast food restaurant and I can almost guarantee that I've never had it. Like, okay, let me name the ones I have had. So, Starbucks and Dunkin', if you count those, it's like fast food. I don't know. People feel differently about that. Chipotle, which I don't count as fast food, but a lot of people do, which makes no sense to me. How is it fast food? To me, in my head, fast food means that it's not made to order. So, like, the food is already made, they just give it to you. Which is why I think that, like, Starbucks is fast food. Because they're not, like, back there making the sandwich. The sandwich is already made, they just put it in a toaster. But Chipotle, not the case. They're making the food for you as you order it. It's not already made. I don't know. That's like neither here nor there, but I've had Chipotle if you consider that fast food. Um I've had Chick-fil-A, which I kind of like, honestly. It's not like I don't crave it, but I do like it. Like if people were getting Chick-fil-A, I would definitely go. Um I kind of think that's it. Okay, one time. So yeah, I think that's it. I've never had Wendy's. I've never had Arby's. I've never had Burger King. I've never had Subway. I know people debate whether or not that's fast food too, but I've never had that. Um, McDonald's. I've had one, like a singular French fry from McDonald's, and I ate that about 2 years ago. Um, but yeah, I've never had basically like any fast food. Oh, I have had Wingstop. I have had that once. I got it in California like a few years ago, like way before it got super popular. I don't really remember it. I'm sure I got chicken, right? I think that's like all they sell. But I don't eat chicken on a bone, so it would have had to have been boneless chicken. But yeah, no, I just am not like I didn't grow up eating fast food. So why like in my head I'm like, well, why would I eat it now? Like you've lived all this life not liking it or wanting it or craving it. I'm not gonna go out and try it now. Like clearly it's not that good and it's so bad for you. So like I don't know. But yeah, it's something about me is I don't eat fast food. Um Also speaking of that, I'm a pretty picky eater. I have to admit. I used to try to hide this from people all the time because I'd be so embarrassed because I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so uninteresting. Like I'm such a picky eater. I don't like to try new things. But I really am. I really am. And I've just learned to accept it. It's not my greatest quality. I'm also a really boring eater. So like I can eat the same thing over and over again and I'll never get bored of it. Like that's why meal prepping is so good for me because I don't get tired of it. Like I can just eat the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I have like 10 meals that I go on rotate and those are like the only things I eat. Like okay, let's break this down. So, I love eggs. Any type of egg, preferably egg whites, but I also like regular eggs. But scrambled eggs over hard eggs, over easy. I'm not a huge fan of like the yolkiness, but it's okay. Hard boiled eggs, soft boiled eggs. I've never had, what do people call that? A poached egg? Is that what it's called? I've never had that. But I think that's where people like boil water and then they crack the egg into the water. Like not like a hard boiled egg because you crack it. I don't know. My dad used to make them growing up for like himself, but I've never had that. I don't know that I want, like, the fact that it's so soft kind of skews me out. But yeah, no, not for me. Also, like, boiling water takes so long, and eggs are like supposed to be a quick and easy thing. So I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose. But regardless, um, yeah, I like pretty much all types of eggs. And yeah, what else do I like to eat? I love myself a good salad. I really do. And I hate to be that person that's like, oh, okay, first of all, salads aren't always healthy. Can we talk about that? Because if you're getting like a huge sweet green salad and you're packing on like the ranch dressing, I'm sorry, but that's not healthy anymore. And listen, I am not saying I only eat salads to be healthy. There are salads that I get that are certainly not healthy. The salad at Chick-fil-A, the Cobb salad, I get the Cobb salad, no bacon, and I get the grilled chicken nuggets on top with the apple cider vinaigrette dressing. So good. That salad is not healthy. Okay, I'm not getting that salad to be like, healthy queen. No, I'm getting the salad because I like the salad. That's not the point. But also, like, people can eat things that aren't salads and be eating really health. Like, oh, I hate when people say that. But anyways, I do love myself a good salad. Sweet Green is like my favorite place ever, and Kava. Oh, so good. But yeah, I like eggs. I like salads. This is so uninteresting. I love a smoothie. I love a good smoothie. Love a good smoothie of really any type. Acai bowls are like okay. I can't get behind them because first of all, sometimes they're just like so sweet, and I'm not a sweets girl. I'm really not. I'm a savory girl through and through, 1000%. But sometimes acai bowls are just so sweet, and I'm like, I can't handle this. Like it's too much. Um, but like there are some that are okay. I feel like. But smoothies, eggs, salads. Um, oh my god, we're getting like real specific, but pad thai is like my favorite meal. Pad thai and chicken parm. If I like had to pick my top two meals of all time, it would be those two, which I know they're so unrelated. But chicken parm, oh, is so good. I just like grew up eating chicken parm all the time. My family's Italian, if you couldn't tell between the blue eyes, tan skin, and black hair. I'm like the most basic Italian looking person you've ever seen in your life. But the point being that I grew up eating a lot of chicken parm, and so I love chicken parm. Best chicken parm place is this restaurant called Lemoncello's. It's in the North End in Boston. Oh my god, it's absolutely incredible. It's so good. Second best would be um what is it called? Viron Rondo's in Connecticut in Cheshire. Also really good. That's just like one of my favorite spots. I love going there. They have great things other than the chicken parm too, but um yeah, and then pad thai favorite spot is a restaurant called Thai Prime in Tampa. So good. I don't really know when I tried pad thai for the first time. Oh, oh my god, wait, no, I do know when I tried pad thai. Okay, this is so random. So, my dad works in a manufacturing company, right? And some like one of his he's like in sales there. And one of his customers buys like season tickets to UConn women's basketball every year. Every year has my dad's worked there for 22 years now. And ever since I've been alive, I remember her buying these. And whenever she couldn't go, she'd offer the tickets to my dad. So like every year there'd be like 2 or 3 games where her and her family couldn't make it. And so she'd give them to my dad. And so if my dad and like us and me and like my sisters weren't busy or whatever, we would obviously go catch a game. So anyways, I like grew up going to a lot of UConn games. And there's a restaurant, if so UConn plays, like sometimes they play on their campus, but they also play at the XL Center in Hartford, if in Connecticut, if you're familiar. And across the street from the XL Center, there's like a ton of restaurants, but one specifically is called Trumbull Kitchen, and they're like a really, really popular spot. It's a huge restaurant. It's gorgeous inside. It's kind of like Maggie McFly's, which is my favorite restaurant of all time, which is why I think I like it so much. But we went there one time when we were going to a game because we had like a ton of time to spare before the game, and it was like lunchtime. I remember we were with, I think both my sisters were there, and then one of my sister's boyfriend was also there, and then my dad. And so, anyways, we stopped there and we grabbed lunch, and I don't know why I ordered pad thai, like how I even knew what that was. But anyways, I got pad thai. That was the first time I'd ever had it, and it was incredible. And looking back, it probably wasn't the best thai ever, but like pad thai ever. But I was like, oh my god, this is so good. And but it was like a huge plate, so I had a ton of leftovers. So I was like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, I'll just bring it home. So we finish lunch, whatever. We walk across the street, we go to the basketball game, and we walk inside, and we have to go through like the metal detectors. So there's like bins. So I put my food in there, and I put my phone or whatever. And this big security guard, he's huge. He's like looking down at me. I was probably in like the 5th, 6th grade, maybe. And he looks down at me. He goes, "What's that?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "In the bag." I was like, "That's my leftovers." And he goes, "Yeah, you can't bring that inside." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "You can't bring that inside." And my dad's like, "Oh, it's okay, just throw it away." And I looked at him and I was like, "You are not going to throw that away. That was so good." And the security guard goes in the bin, he grabs the bag, and he like is looking at me, and he just drops it in the trash can. And my heart absolutely shattered. I was like, "Wow, that food was incredible, and you just threw it away." Like I would have rather him have eaten it. Honestly, that would have made me feel better than just letting it go to waste because it was so good. But that was the first time I ever had pad thai, and I love it now. It's so good. And I really never explored other Thai foods, although I'm sure I'd love it. But yeah, my mom's best friend is actually Filipino. So I've got to try a lot of Filipino food, and it is so good. I want to go to the Philippines so bad. Thailand's always been my like number one bucket list vacation though. Want to go there so bad. I've seen pictures and it looks absolutely stunning. Um oh, that's something about me. I love to travel. I wish I had got to travel more. Um but you know how like people get stressed at an airport? Yeah, no. Airports to me are like the best. I love it. Everyone's so excited. They're getting to go on a vacation, or they're so happy because they just came home from a vacation. Like, oh, I love the feeling of being in an airport. I really, I traveled a lot when I was little, well, when I was younger for softball, but it was never, I mean, it was a lot to travel for sports, but it wasn't like across the country, you know? Like, we pretty much stayed on the East Coast. So, I don't know, like, we played out of Connecticut, but we were in a different state like pretty much every weekend of the summer, but it was like New York, Mass, Rhode Island, um, Maryland, Virginia, Philly, like Pennsylvania. Um, Nationals we went to maybe 3 years. 2 times it was in South Carolina. What's it called? Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and then 1 year it was in Ocean City, Maryland, which I know that there's an Ocean City, New Jersey, I think, which I don't think I've ever been to, but I've been to Jersey, obviously. Um, But yeah, so we went to nationals. Fun fact. Oh my god, story time. So, if you don't know, I have a little like heart condition, and long story short, like I pass out. Honestly, lately, knock on wood, not very regularly, but it used to be all of the time. When I say all the time, I mean like multiple times a week. Like it was really, really unbearable. Um, but my first time ever passing out was at nationals. So it was the first year we ever went. It was one of the times that we were in Myrtle Beach, and we were staying at a condo that was literally like in the sand. Like it was right on the beach. It was incredible. And all of the girls were staying there. Like we all shared a few rooms, and all the parents had their own rooms. It was the best. So anyways, we get down there, and nationals are like 10-day tournaments, right? So you're there for like a full week and a half. Like it's a long commitment. And so we get there, and we were like a high seed, so we had to buy the first like day or two. We just didn't have to play because we were a high seed. So we're like, okay, like might as well relax and like lay out on the beach, right? Because like the rest of the week we're gonna be playing, so might as well enjoy it while we aren't playing. So we had like practice in the afternoon because of course my coach was like, oh well, if we're not gonna play, we're gonna practice, whatever. But in the morning we didn't have anything to do, so we woke up, and my friends were like, oh, like let's go lay out on the beach, and I was like, yeah, of course, duh. So whatever, we like get our bathing suits on, we grab our towel, whatever, go lay out on the beach, and we literally rolled out of bed. Like rolled out of bed, maybe brushed our teeth, put on a bathing suit, and went outside. Like that was it. And we walked outside, and you're already on the beach. So I didn't really think anything of it. And then we're laying out, and I also didn't check the temperature, but like obviously I knew it was hot. It was like July or August in Myrtle Beach. Like duh, it's freaking hot. But anyways, so we're laying out on the beach, and finally my friend like she sits up and she looks at me and like the other girls that we were with, and she's like, "Hey, like I'm so hot. I've got to go like run into the ocean and cool off. Do you guys want to come?" And all of the girls were like, "Yeah, like it's so hot." I was just about to say the same. And I remember looking at one of my friends and I was like, "I'm not hot." And she was like, "Ella, like don't you're not going to be the only one laying here. Like just come with us. It's fine. We'll be back in a second." And I remember being like, okay. But then I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, why am I not hot? Like, I could look at them and I could see the sweat dripping on their face. And I was like, why am I not hot? But, anyways, didn't think anything of it. So I get up, and you know, when your eyes have been closed for a long period of time, like when you're at the beach or at the pool or whatever, and then you open them and it's like you're blinded and you like can't see, right? So that happened. But again, I didn't think anything of it because I was like, oh, like you just give it a second and then your vision like falls back like to normal. So, anyways, we we get up, and there's like maybe 5, 6 of us. It wasn't the whole team, but it was like a decent group of girls. And we're walking down like into the water, like towards water. And remember my friend Sam was right next to me, and I like must have stumbled or something. And because I remember her saying like Ella what, or Ella like what's wrong or something like that. And I turn and I'm like, Sam, where are you? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm right here. And I was like, Sam, where are you? I can't like I don't see you. And that was the last thing I remember. And I woke up. Like the next memory I have, I don't remember anything in between the next memory that I have. I was laying in a beach chair. Not mine. I don't know whose it was. We didn't have beach chairs. We were all laying on a blanket. But I was laying in a beach chair. On one side of me was Sam's dad, who is a cop, if that's relevant. On the other side of me was my mom. And then in front of me was a lifeguard. And behind them, I could like vaguely see my teammates. But I woke up. I don't even know how much time passed. They told me 10 minutes, which seems like crazy in my head, but whatever. And the next thing I remember was waking up, seeing like my mom and Sam's dad and the lifeguard. And Sam's dad was screaming. Like he already is a loud person, but like he was screaming and he screams. He's like, he's like, is Mickey Mouse a dog or a cat? Just screaming. And the lifeguard is asking me like, what's your name? Where are you from? Like he's asking me questions to see if I'm like with it. But John, Sam's dad, is screaming, is Mickey Mouse a dog or a cat? And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I need to answer these questions right because like they're that's how they're judging. So I'm like so anxious, right? And I'm like, oh my God, what is my name? Where am I from? But him screaming is Mickey Mouse a dog or a cat is like overpowering the lifeguard. So I'm thinking, I'm like, is Mickey Mouse a dog or a cat? Mickey Mouse. It's a mouse. It's not a dog or a cat. But I was too scared to say that because I was like, oh my God, if I get it wrong, they're gonna like think something's really wrong with me and I think I'm fine. So I remember turning to him and screaming, I don't know. And everyone just started laughing so hard. And the lifeguard like turned my head and he was like, okay, so do you at least know what your name is? And I was like, yes, Ella. And then he was like, okay, where are you from? And I was like, I'm from Connecticut. And he was like, okay, who's the president of the United States? At the time, Trump was the president of the United States, but I thought he said who was the first president of the United States. So I'm like so confident. I go, George Washington. And his face is like, and then they carry me onto this like quad, like the beach quad, I carry me into this quad and um they drive me to the parking lot and there's an ambulance there and there's all these EMTs and they carry me onto the stretcher and they bring me into the thing and they hook up the IV and the whole shebang. And long story short, they never drove me to the hospital. I refused, absolutely positively refused. And then 2 days later, I passed out on the field that I did have to go to the hospital. Um, this was the start of me learning about my heart condition, and turns out I had heat stroke, and my body temperature was 104 degrees. So, note to self: drink water. First of all, second of all, if you can't see, don't get up. And definitely don't walk into the ocean because turns out I passed out when I was in the ocean and they had to carry me out. So that's scary because I could have like drowned. Sorry, I was distracted. I was seeing if there's a rainbow. But yeah, so that was that story. Um Basically I'm just a hot mess express and yeah, I don't know how we got talking about that, but oh yeah, so I used to pass out a lot. Not so much anymore, which is honestly like big win. Big win. One time when I was a junior in high school, I was learning like virtually. And so I had a Zoom class and I was in my room at my desk, like had my computer set up. But this professor or teacher, I guess, like we had to keep our cameras on and our audio on the whole time because the class was like so small, but it was really interactive. And so it was like fine. But what was weird was that if we needed to use the bathroom because we did so much group work, he made us like raise our hand, like either like this or like hit the raise your hand button and like ask to use the bathroom like in our own homes. So that was kind of weird. But anyways, I remember I asked to use the bathroom and again, like my mic is on, my camera is on, and I raised my hand to use the bathroom and he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I stood up from my desk and I immediately just collapsed to the floor because I passed out because I got up too quickly. And I could hear his name was Mr. Nolan. And I could hear him like when I came back to and he was like, "Ella, are you okay?" But I was way too embarrassed to get back up. So I crawled like on all fours to my bedroom door to the bathroom. I crawled. like in my house. That was honestly such a humbling experience. And then when I finally came back, like obviously I walked back because I didn't want him to see me crawling. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he was like, "Oh, never mind. I thought I not me completely gaslighting poor Mr. Nolan. What was his first name? Peter? Patrick? Patrick Nolan. That sounds right. I think that was right. Um, but yeah, that was like honestly a phase in my life. I don't even have any words for that. It was just like a known thing. Like, oh yeah, Ella passed out. I also passed out at softball practice, also my junior year of high school. But I passed out at practice. That was really scary too. Turns out I had COVID too. I didn't find out till like 2 days later. But I passed out at practice, so that was kind of funny. Um, but yeah. Um, oh my god, guys, we've been talking for so long. It honestly goes by so quick though. And I got so nervous because I hear like other podcasters being like, "Oh yeah, you talk forever, but like it goes by so fast." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Honestly, that went by so fast. Like I've been talking for an hour and 12 minutes. Could I see um but yeah, okay. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. It feels so weird just like abruptly ending. But thank you guys for listening. If you made it to the end, you're a real one because I don't even know what I talked about. I had no plan. Which, if you know me, that's so unlike me. I plan everything to a T, but I was like, you know what? I want this to be low stress. I want this to be casual. I want it to be fun. I just want to go with the flow. And we talked about the most random things. We talked about hot takes, random stories, fires in my house. Like, I don't even know what this was, but honestly, it was so much fun. And if you listen to this point, I appreciate you more than words can describe, honestly. So, I love you guys so much. Please send over any ideas of things you want to hear about. I've like been working on a little brainstorm list of different topics and things, just things that are like that I'm interested in or that I enjoy talking about. It's all pretty random stuff, honestly, but it's kind of like the point of this. So, yeah, but if there's anything you want to chit chat specifically about, I can't wait to have guests. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Um, I already like can think of some people in my life that I would want to be on. Um, but yeah. So, thank you again. I really hope you enjoyed. And honestly, even if you didn't like it, even if you were like, what the heck is this? I hope I gave you an hour and 15 minutes of just time to yourself, to relax, to not have to listen to your own thoughts and be able to listen to someone else's, because sometimes that's all I need. And that's honestly why I love a podcast, because you can just put it in, and for once, the voices in your head can calm down and can be overpowered by someone else's. And that's a beautiful thing, for me at least. Um, so yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you again. I'm so appreciative. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.